She is driving things, and she has the mission, which we all feel, to drive patient safety in her country, in Nigeria, but across the whole continent of Africa. Moji, I'm so pleased that you have made the time to be with us today. Normally, our first conference this year would have been in Cairo and would have been a combination of our global and the next African conference. That was not possible, but I'm sure we are getting together again in the future. And thank you for joining us in this way. And I'm sure that your energy and passion is coming over also on the screen. Thank you so much, and over to you.
To unmute yourself, Moji.
Sorry. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Ulrike. Thank you for inviting me to this enlightening session. And it's been a great journey, almost 3 years now, in terms of implementing pharmaceutical traceability in Nigeria. Next, please. Yes, NAFDAC is the equivalent of FDA in Nigeria, and we have a mandate that includes distribution of 7 regulated products. Drugs, vaccines are some of those regulated products. We got an invitation for the first African GS1 healthcare conference in Addis Ababa in 2018. And that was where our story began in terms of traceability in Nigeria. The representative that was sent then linked up with Mr. Tom Wood of World Bank, and that was how we took the challenge to bring track and trace or traceability using GS1 standard into Nigeria. Next, please. So June 2019, we then had a meeting of USAID, Federal Ministry of Health with NAFDAC to have a collaborative workshop to launch the initiative in Nigeria. The workshop outcomes included the establishment of the vision, strategy, and the 5-year roadmap to implement pharmaceutical traceability using GS1 standards. And September 2019, the second GS1 African Healthcare Conference took place in Lagos. It was an exciting meeting. There were 25 African countries that were part of the meeting, and that was where we had a call to action, Africa strategy for pharmaceutical supply chain traceability. Next, please. From the workshop in June of 2019, we came up with 5 objectives. The first is establishing governance structure. And right now, we are in between 1, 2, and 3 because of what is happening using COVID-19 vaccine as a pilot. So we have established, please go on, please. I don't want to, yes. Next, please. So we have established the governance structure, but I'm going to come to that. This is just a quick picture of the 25 African countries coming together, and the call to action, the different points that we made, which I'm going to show in a minute, is right in the middle on a stand. Next, please. This is the big picture. Ulrike is right there in front. Tom Wood is standing by me in the picture. It is the beginning of great things that will happen in Nigeria. And we can see the dividends of all the efforts. World Bank, Global Steering Committee, Tom Wood, of course, Ulrike, Tunde Odunlami, the GS1 representative in Nigeria. Next, please. So the Second African conference, GS1 conference had the call to action, and this include creating sustainable governance structure. I've mentioned that. Strengthening regulatory policies and procedures, we are doing that. Implementing automatic identification and data capture technologies. We have started doing that. Investing in the underlying health system infrastructure, a little bit of that. Next, please. In continuation with what started in 2018, we have a very strong partnership with GS1 in Nigeria, where our staff are being trained with capacity building in different areas. And we signed a memorandum of understanding last year. Actually, it's November 2020, I'm sorry. This singular signing of MOU showed the resolve in Nigeria and NAFDAC, of course, to deploy track and trace system in strengthening the supply chain. March 2021, inclusion of NAFDAC into GSC initiative of reducing the risk of falsified and diverted C-19 or COVID-19 in supply chain took place. And NAFDAC now is part of the steering committee, one of the technical endorsers, and also will be one of the data sharing performance task team. So a lot is happening as far as GS1 standards and traceability are concerned in Nigeria. Next, please. Okay, this is our traceability implementation 5-year program. The green bar shows what we have completed, which is the governance. The yellow bar is what is in progress, and the blue bar is what we are yet to achieve. So we have established traceability office, established technical steering committee. Of course, we've established who is chair. The chairs are made up of the Ministry of Health and NAFDAC. And please, let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so in terms of the governance, the traceability strategy co-chairs are made up of the Ministry of Health and NAFDAC. And just before this took place, the traceability strategy was launched by the Minister of Health in October 20. Actually, the chairmanship had already taken place before the launching in October 2020. I mentioned that we have the National Traceability Steering Committee in NAFDAC. We have the Traceability Office or desk, and then we have the Technical Working Group. GS1 and the World Bank they've contributed tremendously to where we are right now. Two of our Technical Working Group were invited to the Global Healthcare Conference in India in 2019. And again, like I mentioned, the Technical Working Group keep getting trained and interacting with the GS1 Nigeria. Just before the pandemic, it's almost unbelievable that February of last year, we had the Brussels GS1 conference when the pandemic was already raging in India, and it seems like a decade ago. But we had the Brussels GS1 conference last year, and again, we thank GS1 and World Bank for that. Next, please. Okay, national traceability implementation is in progress and active and alive in Nigeria. We have reviewed and adopted the committee's terms of reference, the training, of course, the communication plans, currently engaging different stakeholders, multi-stakeholder groups for training and updates of traceability information. In terms of the office, we have developed draft guidelines and we are working on regulation for traceability in Nigeria because we have to make it part and parcel of our legal framework. And then communication of traceability information, like I mentioned. Next, please. The working group, we of course, we've been also interacting with USAID contractor, working with GS1 Nigeria, like I mentioned, development of traceability information system and upgrade of NAFDAC port clearance system. We have tied track and trace with our port clearance system. We use a software that we developed in-house, PIDCAMS. That is what is used to clear the goods from the ports, and then thereafter we interface with barcoding and scanning of the barcoding. And also we are implementing the traceability pilot using COVID-19 vaccine that have been distributed in Nigeria. Next, please. To do this pilot study, we had to collaborate with different agencies in Nigeria. Of course, the AstraZeneca brand of COVID-19 came from Serum Institute, came into Nigeria March 2nd of this year. Before that happened, we've already, we had a good idea of where the vaccine will be distributed. So there was assignment of global location numbers using GS1 standard for over 400 facilities in 36 states and the FCT. The facilities included the national where the vaccines came through, the national airport, the zonal, the state, and the local government warehouses, as well as healthcare facilities. Because of course we got the master data from Serum Institute, but we wish we had gotten the aggregated events data before arrival or even at arrival, but we couldn't get the aggregated events data. So my staff had to scan over 7,800 boxes in order to make sure that we captured everything that came in. And this took place in Abuja, at the airport, or where the primary health cold storage room is located. Right now, we are doing ongoing data analysis of the scan data collected across the states. Next, please. This is a schematic of what we have been doing in Nigeria. From the top of the slide, you see the port of entry, which is Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. We have decided in Nigeria to use only one airport for as port of entry for all vaccines. And then from there, it goes to the central warehouse where we did the scanning of these almost 8,000 boxes. It took my staff about 10 hours to do that, which if we had gotten the aggregated events data, it shouldn't have taken us more than 2-3 hours. But this is a work in progress and it's very, very exciting. So from that central warehouse, it is now the vaccines are distributed to the different states, to the different local governments, different healthcare facilities, and of course, to the recipients. The Covishield or the AstraZeneca vaccines barcoding was on the secondary packaging. So we've been able to track and trace to the point where that secondary packaging is still intact. If you have a local government, next please. If you have a local government that is very small, then the secondary packaging box has to be broken to take to that local government. But we have been able to scan upon entry at the airport, all the vaccines that went to 34 states out of the 36 states. 36 states actually plus the federal capital is supposed to be 37. Scanning was also done at selected local government cold stores and healthcare facilities. Why we couldn't scan in the other 3 states was because one of the states is very, very, very slow at adopting vaccination at all. So that is Kogi State. The other 2 states, it was our own staff that didn't come in quickly before the vaccines started getting distributed. And in fact, the interesting thing about what we did was our technical lead person trained all our pharmacovigilance staff in all the 36 states plus FCT, plus the Federal Capital Territory. So talking of new players and partners, we quickly adapted to using our pharmacovigilance staff. We weren't planning that before, but we thought that since they are already there for the safety monitoring, that is better for us to train them. So our staff were all over the country. Of course, we have 36. NAFDAC has 36 offices in the country, across the country, plus FCT. So it was easier. So the other 2 states were states that our staff just didn't get through. But what we have done now, or where we are right now, is exciting because track and trace has come to stay in Nigeria. And this is just the beginning of the big chapter that is going to take place, because my first encounter with traceability is actually from the food perspective. That was about a month after resumption in NAFDAC, 2018, January. It was from the food perspective, because we want to be able to track and trace our food supply chain, that I got to know about the food, got interested rather with the GS1 conference in Ethiopia. Next, please. And what is going on now is a big story that started, of course, in 2018. But in terms of preparing for the COVID-19 traceability, we started around October last year with meetings with international partners, WHO, UNICEF, Ministry of Health, Primary Health, the CDC of Nigeria, just to be sure that we have an holistic perspective in terms of track and trace. And it's not just in Nigeria alone, it is also, we have taken this continentally to NEPAD in South Africa, because 4 countries or 4 regulatory agencies, Ghana, Nigeria, Ethiopia, and South Africa, became part or formed the steering committee of African Union Smart Safety Surveillance. And this surveillance is now tied with traceability, because it is part of safety monitoring. If there is no falsified medicines in a supply chain, no diversion, no infiltration, then the medicines are deemed safe. So this is the progress as we see. And right now we are collecting data. We've already vaccinated about 1.8 million people in Nigeria, and we're going to do the data analysis to ensure that there is no infiltration, no diversion in the supply chain. Next, please. And I believe that is my last slide. Thank you so much. It has been a wonderful journey, exciting, very, very tasking, but without GS1 office in Nigeria, we wouldn't have been able to go this far. Thank you, and over.
Thank you very much, Moji. And the journey is not over yet, so please stay with us, because you will have also the opportunity to reply to a few questions after the last speaker. And I really wish that all the efforts you have been doing for the COVID pilots are going to also be used for all the drugs in the future for Nigeria and for the rest of the continent, as you mentioned. So thank you very much. And the next speaker is Andrea Vassalotti. So she is the Director